Good morning, pilgrims on stage 2 of the Via de la Plata. Wow, it is a cold morning, 6 degrees, even colder than it was yesterday. But that's how it goes. I had a great pilgrim meal yesterday at a bar not far from here. I asked the owner and he told me that they open at 6, so that's where I'm heading right now to have breakfast. I made myself a sandwich with the supplies that I bought yesterday. I have, an apple, and I also have some peanuts. That's gonna be lunch today because on today's stage, there is zero support. That's how it goes out here on the Via de la Plata. I was just surprised of how many pilgrims I met on day one already. We got to talking there with a German and a guy from Canada. I saw a few French pilgrims, and I think a couple of Italians and an American. So yeah, the camel is starting to take form. We'll see. Wow, man, it's so cold. Let's get that café con leche already. I couldn't help myself and I stopped at the first bar that I saw open. Went in, it was nice and hot in there. And I went for a full spread. I went for a Napolitana, toast with ham, and a café con leche. Oh, it hit the spot. $5.20, not too bad. I love the architecture here between the white colors and the tiles. It's just so different from all the other caminos that I've done. A little quick note, I noticed that the toast here in the south of Spain is way softer than it is in the north. So that's just a note for you guys. And also, what should we talk about today, huh? I know that by now you have noticed that I'm carrying a lot of gear. It's bulky, I know. How much weight am I carrying? Why do I have in each one of these large pockets? Well, I'll go into it as soon as I leave this town behind. Now, where's the camino? This vlog and this series is brought to you by Garcia Dreams. Together, we build a better future. Well, I wasn't expecting this on my way out of town. The official path is flooded and there's no way I can jump around. So what to do when you get into a situation like this one? This tends to happen a lot on the Via de la Plata, but I think I can take the alternative, which goes over the river. So I had to backtrack and then make my way over to the bridge and cross over. Wow. The obstacles, man. The obstacles at the beginning that you have to overcome. Can I drink that water? I do have my filter, but I don't need to. There's a water source at the halfway point of the day, which I think is not reliable. Maybe it is, who knows? I have 1 liter of water. I have my water filter, which I can fill it up so I could have up to 2 liters at any given point. And my backpack is gonna be extremely heavy because as it is, without any food and water, it's 28 pounds. Yes, it's in the range. I'm used to carrying between 20 and 30, I would say. So 28, yeah. But this backpack, the suspension is so great and I have the weight distributor so well that I barely feel it. All right, let's go over that bridge. After that perilous river crossing over that very busy bridge, I had to take a detour away from the busy road, and I found this track on Google Earth Pro, because if not, I would have had to either backtrack a little bit or continue down the road for like a few kilometers. And I decided, let's just get off, be out here by myself in great company with all the olive trees, and let's talk a little bit about all the weight distribution that I have on this new setup that I'm carrying. I switched over from the Osprey Exos 48 backpack, which I've been using since day one in 2017. I went up just a couple of liters to the Osprey Atmos 50. Now this backpack gives me extra pockets, large pockets on the side. I can get into the backpack from multiple angles. I have a different compartment. This backpack is designed to carry between 30 and 40 pounds, which is great because I'm carrying 28, and that's not counting water and food. With water and food, which I have a liter of water right now, and I have an apple, I have the sandwich, I have some nuts. So I'm probably hovering around the 35-pound benchmark. I don't know, we'll see. Let's dig into what all these pockets are all about. I always like to have my gear at an arm's length. That's what works for me. I don't like stopping, taking my backpack off to grab a camera or the drone. If I have to do that, I will probably miss a ton of shots. Also, this helps me distribute the weight around my body so that it's not just pulling on my back the whole time. Half of the weight is in the front, the other one is in the back. It's close to my waist, which is the ideal spot to keep all the heavy stuff. Even in my backpack, I carry the heavy stuff at the bottom and the light stuff goes to the top. So let's see, I wrote down the weight breakdown, and let's start with the left pouch. This is where I keep the drone, the DJI Mini 4 Pro. This is the bag that came with it. I bought an extra one because I liked it so much. In there I have the controller and I have the drone. It weighs 2.5 pounds. On the right side, the other bag that I bought weighs 2.1 pounds. And that's where I keep all the charging cables for both the drone, the camera. I have a USB-C charger for the camera because I have two batteries. This camera eats a lot of battery. It's a massive camera that shoots 8K, but I'm shooting 4K. So right there, that's my ABC unit. Always be charging. Yes. In the front, the big pouch. This is where I keep my camera. This is just to protect the camera from the dust. It's dusty out here on the Camino. I had a camera, the same camera, on the Camino Frances last year in May. I had a strap where I could keep it, just similar to this one, but it was exposed to the elements. And I was always having to clean it at the albergue. When it rained, I had to put it in my backpack. This is waterproof, so it just works great. It's all being held by these quick release mechanisms that just work perfectly, and they match with this RoboCop look that I have. What else do I have? I have over here my glasses, two glasses, my sunglasses, and my reading glasses, because yes, I'm already 44 when I turn 45 on this Camino, and the years are catching up. I need them just to fly the drone because I have the screen right here and it's too close and it looks a little bit blurry. So I had to adapt. I have the fanny pack where I keep microphones, you know, anything that I need at an arm's length, coins, even money because I left my wallet behind trying to save some weight. Everything counts, everything adds up. What is it? Ounces add up to pounds and pounds add up to pain. The backpack weighs 17.5 with everything else in it. So that is, I don't know, my clothes, my 3 sets of clothes, my sleeping liner, my toiletries, my charging cables, the soap, the bar of soap, trying to remember everything that I have in there, the poncho, of course, and including these two attachments here, the one for the phone and the one on this side. This is actually a water bottle holder, which I'm using to store the Pocket 3, which I'm using right now, because I can just grab it super fast, get my shot, put it back in there. What else? What else? Oh, I think I broke down the weight. The toiletry is, what is it, 2 pounds. Yes, I have my toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, I have nail clippers, I have emergency toilet paper, of course, and I have baby powder for after. And then the last piece of the puzzle is the charging cables and the data transfer kit with the hard drives that gave me so much trouble yesterday or the day before. That weighs a total of 1.7 pounds. Yes, I have 8 terabytes worth of storage space. This is more than enough. I have an actual extension to get power, so I don't have to be right next to everybody. I can just plug it in. It's like a 1 point something meter extension, and then I have a splitter so I can bring it into my bed, whether it's at the bottom or at the top, you know, charge all my electronics away from praying eyes. The great thing about my power bank, which I will talk about later, is that I have never seen anything like this. You can actually charge the power bank while you're charging all the devices that are plugged into it. And that is a game changer. Now, what is that over there? Is that a dam? Yes, it is. Let's go check it out. And just like that, after that quick fly over the dam, I reconnected with the official path. I love the scenery. Yes, it is only 18 kilometers or so from Guillena to Castilblanco, where I'm staying today. I will be staying at the Municipal Albergue, the first one on the trip. The one that I stayed last night was a private one. It was a 2-story building. It had like 4 or 5 rooms. They kept putting everybody at the bottom bunk bed, which was great. And then on the roof, that's where we did the laundry and where we hang the clothes to dry. The design was pretty cool. The walls were painted white and they were full of scribbles, messages left behind by other pilgrims. And it was pretty cool, pretty cool. I think I'm catching either a cold. I don't know what it is. I have like a runny nose. The whole night I was just like, I had trouble sleeping. And it might be a combination of the dust, the cold temperatures, and I don't know. What can I say? You just gotta adapt to the situation. 25% of the way, I think at the halfway point is where they have that water source. I still haven't drank water, so I might just take this opportunity to do so. I have a smart water bottle, 1 liter. I like this bottle. Everybody on the Appalachian Trail uses it because it's narrow. You can actually put it right here, but that's not where I'm putting it. I'm putting it in one of the side pockets with a quick, easy access. And I changed the cap, for one that looks like this. You can get this cap on the 700 milliliter bottle. So switched it over. Haven't seen any other pilgrims, but I am taking my sweet time. And I also took that variant that I just made up myself. Oh man, I just had the biggest scare of the trip so far. Oh my God, right after I saw the gorgeous castle, that abandoned castle in the distance, and I flew the drone, I was ready to record something and I couldn't find the microphone once again. And I freaked out. I actually backtracked, I think about 1 kilometer, to this spot where I actually took off my jacket because it started to warm up already. And I was just searching, scanning the ground. I couldn't find it. I was like very depressed about it, I had to say, because of all the things that are happening. And to lose the microphone, it would be a tragedy. Even though I have 3 microphones, I'm using 2 for stereo recording and then the one for my voice. You know, I backtrack, and then on the way back, I stopped where I flew the drone. I searched the area, couldn't find anything. And then I dig into my backpack looking for my jacket. And as it turns out, it was there in the bundle. I guess when I took it off, you know, since the microphone is attached to this magnet, it just grabbed it, and I threw it in the backpack, and I found it. Thank God. It's nice, safe, and sound. I think I have to now, whenever I'm not recording, put everything away in one of the pockets, maybe the fanny pack in the front, just to keep it safe. And that's not the end of the story, because I can't find my headphones, my Bluetooth headphones. I remember this morning seeing them, grabbing them, putting them somewhere, and just before I left, I scanned the bed and the surrounding area just to make sure that I don't leave anything behind, and I didn't see it. But I've searched through and through in every single pocket, and I cannot find it. Maybe it's deep inside my backpack, and I'm really counting on it, because, you know, this can't get any worse. I can't wait to finally develop the routine and overcome all these obstacles. Might be time for a snack. Should I do it now, or should I get the water first? Let's get the water. Oh man, made it to the water source. Here's the manual pump. And although you see water splashing, it's not working. But check out the view, man. I mean, this is La Meseta on steroid. La Meseta with hills and ever expanding fields. This looks like a Windows screensaver in a way. Incredible. So serene. I've only seen one pilgrim. He passed me by, and I've seen a couple of cyclists just, you know, going in both directions. So yeah, I might as well have lunch here. This is the halfway point of the day, and it's already, what is it? Is it noon? Today I've just been going so slow. Yeah, 12:08. So let's enjoy that sandwich, because I already had the apple a few kilometers back. Well, I'm past the 75% of the way. I think I have less than 5 kilometers to go. And I'm walking right now next to this busy road. Well, not so busy. Just like a few cars and motorcycles passing by. And it's just been an incredible day. Besides a couple of hiccups, the walk is magical. I don't know what it is. You see a few churches or villas or haciendas. In the distance, you see the cattle, the horses. I don't know, this landscape, I'm digging it, man. The reddish path is kind of like when I did the Camino de San Salvador from León to Oviedo before doing the Primitivo. It kind of has like the same vibe, at least of day one. So yeah, haven't seen any more pilgrims. I'm probably the last one. I'm getting to the Municipal, so I'm really hoping that there's a bed waiting for me there. I still got water. I've only drank a little over half a liter so far. But it's just the cool breeze. I mean, I know the sun is hitting but the cool breeze just keeps everything in check. So made it to Castilblanco at 2:30 in the afternoon. I probably would have gotten here earlier if I hadn't had to backtrack looking for the microphone. But there's a municipal albergue, and on my way here I stopped really quickly at the entrance of town at this maison, and I had a caña and an Aquarius, an orange Aquarius, and I was just sitting there listening to the old timers complain about what old timers complain about everywhere. And now right here next to the gas station is the albergue where I'm gonna head in, check in, do my laundry, look for my headphones because I have to find them. Look at my hair. Let's go. It is 6 o'clock. I'm just waiting for the maison to open to have my menú del día. After getting back from the supermarket where I went to buy some supplies for tomorrow's stage. Tomorrow we got a 28-kilometer day with no support. So I bought bread, fruits, cold cut cheese, you name it. Enough to last me until I make it to the town. What else? The day after that is gonna be even longer at 34 kilometers, which we'll see how that one pans out. At the albergue, when I checked in, the lady, the hospitalera, a Canadian woman, recognized me. She follows me on YouTube, which took me by surprise, and we were talking there for a while. She saw all my Camino Portuguese videos, and she has done the Via Pudienses. Yes, I took a shower, which was just great, and did laundry. I think it will dry. There's plenty of wind and sun, and it's had a few hours to do the work. I was just laying there in bed. My nose is running like crazy. I don't know what's going on. Is it still the dust, or am I getting the flu? I don't know. I'm just hoping it's not COVID, because I got COVID in the Camino Frances last May. So I don't want a repeat of that. What else? What else? There's a pilgrim that showed up a couple of hours after me, and he started this morning in Sevilla, which is crazy. The guy is 65 years old, and he's in top shape. Yeah, I made a reservation for tomorrow's stage because I was gonna stay at a private albergue, but I kept calling them and they kept hanging the phone like 3 times in a row. And I just want to play it safe, so I went on bookings.com and I got the last room that was available at this pension. So I'll have a private room. Couldn't find my headphones. I don't know where they are. I looked everywhere, so I'm gonna have to edit my 1-minute videos that I'm posting on Instagram. I'm gonna have to do that in the corner so that people don't hear me, scrubbing the audio back and forward. So only thing left to do for the day is just wait for the maison to open so I can have my menú del peregrino, or the menú del día, and call it a day. I'm making my way back to the albergue after devouring yet another menú del día and just before the sun goes over the horizon. This is the perfect opportunity to thank the trail angel of the day, Sherry Pratt, my friend, my fellow pilgrim that walked with me on the Camino Frances last year. Thank you so much for the donation, for the support, for your friendship. And day 2 is now in the bag, man. I can't believe that we're slowly creeping into the routine. You know, in a few days, I will be in Extremadura. Wow. See you guys tomorrow.